Even though Oklahoma State made a bowl game and went 7-6 in 2018, it was still a disappointing one. A whole bunch of wasted potential had happened. How is Oklahoma State going to do in 2019 is what we're going to be going over today. Oklahoma State schedule preview. Today we're going to be looking over a few players this team will be losing, who they're going to be returning, and also we're going to be looking at their schedule for the first time this offseason. Oklahoma State went 7-6 once again in 2018, had the ups and downs for sure during last season. And at its good times, the thing is about Oklahoma State last season is that they play to their competition. If it was more of a lower skill team, they play to their level. If it was a higher skill team, they'd possibly be able to pull an upset. It's just how it went. I mean, for Oklahoma State, they just were not very consistent last season. I think that is what hurt them in the long run. Lots of tough losses for the 2019 season for Oklahoma State. That's what I'm kind of concerned about. They lose Taylor Cornelius Hill to 2 offensive linemen. They lose 4 starters on offense. And then they lose 4 defensive linemen, 1 linebacker, and 1 safety. So they lose 6 starters on the defense, except one of those defensive linemen, I do believe, is more of a second string. Spencer Sanders is your most likely to start at quarterback right now, but since we're in March and the spring games haven't even started yet, that is still unknown right now. Will a bowl game happen in 2019? I hate saying that when a team went 7-6 the year before, or even 7-5, but I think it's going to be tough. They're going to be on the very verge of it. I don't expect them to be as good next season as they were this season. The losses, I think, are just going to be too much for next season, and that's why I'm saying that. And also, their schedule is not very easy. That's what we're going over next. So they got Oregon State, McNeese State, Tulsa, Texas, and Kansas State in your first month of action. I think those first 3 games they should win, but the only problem is with those is that they've got 2 of those 3 on the road. Like they're out of their first 4 games, 3 of them are on the road. That's not a very ideal way to start off the season. I mean, of course, McNeese State, that should be a win there. But of course, when you're having to go to Oregon State, Tulsa, and Texas in 4 weeks, I mean, it gets to be a little bit excessive with those road games. The next week, you got Kansas State, then you got Texas Tech on the road, Baylor at home, Iowa State on the road, TCU, Kansas at home, West Virginia, and then Oklahoma. So definitely they've got a few games that they could win on this schedule for sure. I'm saying that they beat McNeese State, Tulsa, and Kansas. Those are your 3 guaranteed wins for Oklahoma State. It is a pretty high possibility that they get one more win other than that, so I'm putting it in their estimated record that 4-8 is their bare minimum. That is the worst case scenario for Oklahoma State. Their best case scenario is 8-4. I don't really see them getting any higher than 8-4 next season. The losses, once again, are going to be really excessive for this team next season. With the quarterback situation, it's going to be rough. It could be a little bit of a rough season for Oklahoma State. I think that Oregon State game at the beginning of the season, if they can win that game, that's going to help them a ton. I wasn't able to put that in green, though, quite yet, just because it was the first game of the season. With Texas, then on September 21st, that's going to be a very tough game to win. I'd expect that game to possibly be a loss. Kansas State and Texas Tech the next couple of weeks. Kansas State, you definitely have a shot in just because it's at home. But Texas Tech will also be another hard one. Baylor, if they can win that game at home, that would be major. I mean, Baylor, I think, is going to be a much better team next season, so you're going to want to watch out for that game. Iowa State on October 26th on the road. That's going to be another very difficult one. So you're really going to have to show up with your A game if you're going to win that game. TCU at home on November 2nd, another very possible win. Kansas, I think they'll win against West Virginia on the road. Another possible win there. So maybe you got about 5 on this list that you definitely could win. But West Virginia being on the road, that's why I'm saying and not guaranteed win right now. But West Virginia, I'm really not expecting much out of next season. So that's something to note there as well. Oklahoma at home on November 30th, possible upset there. If you can play well on that day at home, be fired up for the final game of the season possibly, I think that Oklahoma game could be dangerous. I think that they could win that game. That'd be a major upset if they could pull that one off. But anyway, that's it for Oklahoma State's schedule preview. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this team in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you guys think. Estimated record-wise, once again, I'm saying 4-8 to 8-4 for Oklahoma State. We are going over the Big 12 right now for schedule previews. Next up is the Pac-12. And then we are going to be done with schedule previews for the season. Then it'll be on to the NFL. So anyway, once again, that is it for this video. Thank you guys all for watching, and stay tuned for more from ASC.